Ew.
And it's your girl Mina Mendoza, little girl, big personality, queen of spice. We
Ew.
here. Feels a little different. I know. I'm here on a Wednesday. I'm still gonna film tomorrow. We're just doing a little something extra spicy. I feel like I haven't been able to film something for myself. I usually like do a little film recap about my birthday and any plans after that. So this is kind of just like a little like just fun teaser before tomorrow's episode. So, period. Exactly. So I kind of want to fill y'all in a little bit on like what's been happening. So the last time I was on air, I literally said I was going to go to Puerto Rico. And the plan was that okay. I was still supposed to go to Puerto Rico, but let me tell you what happened. Okay. So as you know, with the world, yeah, I'm not so sure like what's fully happening cuz like when it comes to like politics, I'm going to be real like Mina is like lightly sprinkled on like what's happening. All I know is that we captured the person who was leading Venezuela. And because he was captured on my birthday, um, you know, they canceled all airways completely. So I was supposed to be in Puerto Rico. I remember my flight did not say canceled. And I remember like the day before, like I was excited, but I wasn't really excited. And in my mind, I was just like, I just don't know. My flight hasn't canceled. Maybe it's gonna cancel. I don't know. So in my mind, that was just like, I'm gonna go to sleep and like whatever happens, happens. And honestly, of course, flight got canceled. They were trying to like put me in different like type of airways. Um, but yeah, it was just like not a vibe, like completely. And I was just like, what can I do? And like luckily there was insurance for everything, like everything was covered. So it wasn't so much about like the finances. It was just more like I wanted to be in the beach. So, you know, I don't know. It was just like a little wah 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 moment for me. I don't know, Najee, if we have that sound or a little like, yeah, like, it just wasn't like a good surprise. So I would say not a good fun time, but when it all went down, I was just thinking in my head, like, what can I do to make this better? Because now, like, all these trips, like, all the Airbnbs, the plane tickets, the rental, it was all coming back now, like the finances. So I'm like, okay, so I technically could go around the world, but technically, like, whoever had plans to go to Puerto Rico in that week was thinking the same thing I did. Because when I tell y'all, the price surge in like tickets to like Mexico, tickets to like Miami, it like completely went up. Like completely went up. And I'm just like, it was just like very frustrating. Very, very, very frustrating. And yeah, it was just like not a good time. Not a good time at all. Um, but definitely what I would say, get insurance for your trips. I've never had a scenario where that has happened to me. So luckily I was happy that I had that like reassurance. But in the end of the day, we made shit work. So what I ended up doing is I was like, okay, where can I go? Because I'm not jumping on an airplane. Once I started thinking about it, I was like, okay, I really could go somewhere. I don't mind going somewhere. However, I just don't think I should be on an airplane right now. So I was like, where can I go that's nearby? I was like, let's go to Atlantic City. So I go to Atlantic City. Go to Atlantic City, of course. We do shit Jersey, like jer- such a Jersey thing to do. I swear to God. And you know what? People talk so much shit about Atlantic City, and I get it. I get it. The poverty level is crazy high, and like I come from Patterson, and like I'm not trying to throw shade or anything, but I just think like the further Jersey you go, I don't know, things are just really spread. I don't know how to explain it. It just seems a little bit more relaxed, but also like not enough rules, if that makes sense. I don't know how to explain it. But anyways, when I went to AC, the fun thing that basically happened was I found out how to play roulette. That shit was popping. No, that shit was popping. Oh my God. Playing roulette was honestly a great time because, I'm walking around the casino and shit. And I'm just like, okay, I see the people playing cards. I see the nanas just pressing the buttons. There was some lady that, like, she was just sitting there for like 15 minutes. 15 minutes. 15 minutes. And yeah, and I saw her win like $3,000, and she just didn't react. She just sat there like
You are watching a master at work.
yeah, yo, she was working that fucking machine. Like that shit was crazy. Like she just stood there and like yo, she just didn't react. And like part of me was like going around her like machine. I was like, damn, how much money does she already got in the bank that she's just not reacting? I tried to play the machines. I won a little bit, but the roulette was popping. So I didn't know how chips work. I didn't know that certain colored chips were for certain things. Like the red ones were like $5, some are 10, some are 25, some are 50. So I was like, oh shit. Okay. So we exchanged like $100. I start playing, right? And for anyone who has never played roulette, roulette is like a beautiful game of like chances. Like it's like the dumbest way to win money. Dumbest easiest way to win money. Like the table literally says, it doesn't even say it. It's the color red or the color black. Even or odd. 1 out of 12, 12 out of, I don't know, 24, 24 out of 36. And all you have to do is guess what it's gonna hit. If you want to be specific with numbers, for sure you could be specific with numbers. However, you could also like just pick and choose. So once I saw how the game worked, I was like, okay, so I could just, if I decide it's gonna be red, it's gonna be red. So okay, and it's a minimum of $10 for the table. I was like, okay, shit, fuck yeah. I was just like, all right, $10 here. I was like, I think it's gonna be even. Sure. It was just like an advanced head or tails. That's exactly what roulette felt to me because I love the balance of it. It was just like ah or ah. It wasn't like 4 ways to win. No, it's many ways to win. However, to be strategic, it was like one or the other, and I like that. But yeah, I came up like $250. I know, nothing crazy, nothing crazy. Let me get a hand applause. Something. Thank you, Daji. Um. So yeah, I came up 250 and I walked away from the table. You know what's crazy about I think gambling? When people see that you're winning, because I definitely don't got a poker face. No, like for a fact. When I'm winning, I'm like, oh my God, I'm winning. Like everybody who was winning in poker face, like I had to be like that lady hitting the machine, like I just won $3,000. She just didn't even react. But like I was so excited. And then when the lady, the person, Thompson, that was his name, Thompson, the, I don't know what you call those people, the gambler person on the table. He was like, oh, it was your birthday? Bet. I don't know if there's like a birthday button, but I hit like 7 times. And I was just getting excited, like super excited. And then all of a sudden, this 2 people came to our table. He was like, this table's hot. And I was just like, yo, I'm getting the fuck out of here. I was like, you're going to take all my money. Like, yo, what I'm telling you, vibes are real. Vibes are real. Like, I felt like I was alone in that table in my own little island, and here comes through bad luck. Bad luck was coming through. What I'm telling you, like, it just felt like bad energy. I was like, yo, let me get out of here. But I could see how it could be addicting. Because to me, it was like what I described to y'all. When I really hit like 6 7 times like in a row, it was like a real dope little quick high that I was able to hit 250, and that's profit. I remember I played 100 and I was able to go up 250 just on this game. I think within like less than 10 minutes. So in less than 10 minutes, I made $250. If that's not some OnlyFans shit, like I just thought to myself, and that was like the first time that like I guess I played like in a gambling situation. I'm like, yo, this shit's legal? Like for real? Like people could just win money like this?
That's suspicious.
Suspicious and wild, like and legal. Like that shit's legal. Like I'm like, I'm not a hater because obviously I won money. I participated. But it's very interesting, like the whole system of it. Like 24 hours. Like people was just down there at different times of the day, like going to different casinos. Like I was just like, yo. And yo, shout out to the jitneys in Atlantic City. Shout out to the jitneys. For no one who doesn't know what the jitneys are, the jitneys are like the little poppy buses. It's like those little buses. Like if you don't want to take NJ Transit, it's like those little buses that like take you to New York. Some take you to like Jersey City. Najee, you ever took a jitney little bus? You ever took one before? All right, you know what I'm talking about. So like there it's called jitney. Like it just says jitney on the freaking thing. But like it's the same freaking bus. But it's $3. Anywhere you want to go, like local Atlantic City, and it takes you to like all the stops of the casinos. So I'm on this jitney, yo, and like being on that jitney because it's 24 hours, and like I feel like AC being notorious for just like it's gambling. Like it was a wild time. I ain't gonna lie, I was drunk and I was just observing bad shit. And yo, there was this person that got out of Caesar's Palace, right? I remember it was the Caesar's Palace because I was trying to get a Tropicana. I was staying at Harrah's. I was staying at the other side of Atlantic City. So I'm on the jitney and we're at Caesar's, and this guy gets on and he's like, I gotta go to the hospital. Just like the way he said it, I'm like, dang, like he really dead ass was just gambling on a table. It just like went to the hospital. I'm just like, yo, I don't know. That shit was crazy. That was just like wildly. The jitney was interesting. It was fun though. Reliable as fuck. But shout out to them. Tried out some dope shit in Atlantic City. Had White House subs. I recommend anybody who likes sandwiches go to White House subs. I think that I'm saying it right, in Atlantic City. But White House subs is an iconic sandwich shop. I'm not sure if they make their own bread, but they're like history known. Like they have a lot of famous pictures like all around, like the deli. And I got like a turkey and cheese. You could get like a steak sandwich, chicken sandwich, all the deli sandwich. Yeah, she was good. But yeah, the White House sandwich shop. I don't know. It was on the corner, but that shit was delicious. It was very, very good. So I recommend anyone who's in the Atlantic City area, please give the White House sub shop a visit because that shit was delicious. It was delicious. Very delicious. All right. Back to business, baby. So, what else did happen? I learned how to play roulette. I won some money. I had some awesome sandwiches. Hold on. Let me go. I'm not trying to go on a tangent here. All right. So other things that I did, because obviously, like I said, another thing that I realized that I didn't mention, I didn't realize how close Puerto Rico is to Venezuela. When I actually had to sit there and look at like the geographical like map of it, I was like, holy shit. Like I see why they like shut off airways and shit. Like I'm just like, yeah, the thing is right next, it's in its backyard. Like it's in its backyard. So yeah, I could see. I just told myself I should not be in a plane at all. But like I said, I was able to have other experiences. So I talked about AC. Um, the other spot I went to visit is Philadelphia. So it wasn't like my first time in Philadelphia. It was my second time in Philadelphia. But being in Philadelphia the second time, I feel like definitely, I don't know. It was more of like a foodie vibe. Besides like the amazing food. Well, actually, no, I am gonna talk about the food. Me going to Philadelphia the first time, I never got to experience a Philly cheesesteak in Philly. Yeah, Najee, you got the sound. Yes. So I never got to experience that. So like I told myself this time, I was like, I'm gonna try as many Philly cheesesteak spots ever. Yo, when I'm telling you I had that motivation and plan, and that plan was not succeeding, I think by the second Philly cheesesteak, yeah, I was just like, yo, I'm Philly cheesesteak out. I couldn't eat them. But a couple spots that I tried gyms on South Street. People were telling me like not to go because I feel like people who go to Philadelphia, they go to like Geno's, they go to like the one across the street from Geno's. And I went to gyms on South Street. I also went to, I ordered from D'Angelo's, something like that. And then I also had a cheesesteak. I do recommend going here. If you're ever in Philadelphia, please stop by the Reading Terminal. And what the Reading Terminal is basically like a meat packing market type of thing. There's just like a whole bunch of like food places. They had like a Philly cheesesteak spot there. That I had a Philly cheesesteak from. That was actually really good. And my question, I guess my whole thing with this, like me eating the Philly cheesesteaks, right? I thought to myself, because I'm not from Philly. I am a New Jerseyan, you know. I live right next to New York. I'm not from New York though. I know I got like a New York Mets hat because there is no like New Jersey baseball team. But me being from New Jersey, the closest thing that I feel like I have is a chopped cheese. And to me, that's always been like an argument that I've seen in places like Philly cheesesteak or chopped cheese. And for people that don't know the difference, Philly cheesesteak, I feel like is actual pieces of like steak, you know, and like steak chopped up. And what I learned in like Philly, they do like either provolone, white American, or they do the cheese whiz. And they'll do like onions and peppers and stuff like that all mixed in. Blah, blah, blah. A chopped cheese is ground beef mixed up with cheese mixed up, lettuce, tomato, and whatever toppings you want to put on it.
This is a certified hood classic.
Yes, it definitely is. And my question is, which one do you think is better? Philly cheesesteak or chopped cheese? I'm going to have to say it. Don't hate me for it. Mine is definitely going to be a chopped cheese. Chopped cheese. Najee, which is a top two for you? I mean, which one would you pick? Have you ever had a Philly cheesesteak from Philly? Okay. Have you ever had a chopped cheese? Okay, period. All right, you could qualify for this questionnaire. Which one? Chopped cheese. Yo, y'all heard it. Najee said chopped cheese. You know, anybody who catches this episode or is watching with us right now, what do y'all think? Philly cheesesteak or chopped cheese? Let me know. But yeah, chopped cheese. I don't know. I think Philly cheesesteaks is too heavy. You know, like steak sandwiches are good, but eating a steak sandwich all the time is like a heart attack. Like, you know, you're gonna get a heart attack from eating a chopped cheese all the time. But like, I don't know, something about the ground beef, I feel like it's more airy. I don't know, it's like an airy type of meat. Like steak is just like it's just a slab. Like chopped cheese is just like, I don't know. It's like a ground beef sprinkle. That's what it is. Don't come for me. Don't come for me. This is how I think. Hey, shout out to Steph. She said chopped cheese, period. Exactly. Like, and Steph is from New York. So we got people from New Jersey, New York. And I'm not a hater of Philly cheesesteaks, but that shit is like, it's just too heavy. I got Philly cheesesteaked out. However, I do recommend eating at other places. Like one of the places that I want to recommend is We Walk. Yo, shout out to We Walk. This place was the best banana pudding I've had in my life. And I know people are like, banana pudding, you know, this ain't no Magnolia Bakery, you know. And don't get me wrong, Magnolia Bakery, it's good. But what made We Walk so much better, they figured out a way to make the banana pudding frozen, like a frozen yogurt, but not really. And still with the cookies on top. Yo, this shit was fucking, it was magical. It was magical. It was so good. That I got like a wonton soup. I was trying to get other stuff, but the main beautiful thing about this restaurant is that they're like farm raised ingredients to the table, and each ingredient that they purchase for the day is fresh. So like if things run out, it's because it's genuinely fresh. It's because it ran out. They don't have like a huge factory that just mass produces the lemonade or the peach teas or the, you know, whatever. But like I like that. I like that. I feel like food places should be like that. It's kind of scary that you could make 50 hamburgers in 5 minutes. Like that's crazy. A little bit. But I'm not a hater because I'll still eat from those places. But like, you get what I'm saying? Shout out to We Walk. Shout out to We Walk. That shit was so good. So good. So good. What else I do there? Yo, I went to the state penitentiary. I think that's what it's called. Let me make sure I got my information correct. State penitentiary. I think that I'm pronouncing it correctly. But it's a prison. No, Eastern State Penitentiary. Yo, when I tell you that was crazy, because I feel like I've always seen like those ghost type of shows. Yo, crazy. You been there, Najee? Yo, it's crazy. I always see those ghost shows, like Ghost Hunters. No, I didn't want to go there. Listen, it's a museum. It's a museum. It's a museum. But I remember just going there and I was just like, oh man, like this is a prison. I know people have died here. I've seen ghost hunters, like all those like famous ghost shows, and like they've done things here, you know, like freaking machine, the radar is going crazy, like that type of shit. I ain't gonna lie. When I first walked in there, it was like just like a heavy feeling. I was just like, oh nah. Like I thought it was a cool idea, and then I thought to myself, I'm like, I'm not touching anything because I don't want to absorb anything. But yo, that shit was crazy. Yo, that shit was crazy. They were like, yo, you see how cold it was? And it was freezing. Freezing. They're like, exactly how cold it feels. Like, that's exactly what they would feel. And it was worse in the summers. Like, they just had no, like, central system. And, like, I learned a little bit about it. Like, I learned a little bit about jails. Like, the whole point of, like, a prison system, obviously, a prison is not anything, nowhere that no one wants to be. However, like, I learned, like, the reason why we have prison systems or systems like that is because back in the day, like, if you did something bad, they should just put all the bad people in a room. And it was just like, God knows what happened in that room. And it was inhumane. So the reason why prisons were built is because they needed a more humane system. It wasn't ethical with the way they were handling crime back in the day. So the reason for prison, it was yes, for like reformation, because you want to go there to change. but it was also making sure that the person who committed the crime is still in a safe environment. So it was really interesting. Like and I thought that was dope. I was like, oh shit. But then like all the other stuff, oh my god. So like they give you like this it's like an audio thing, and like you press numbers, and like each thing has like a number like to listen to. And that shit was crazy. Like, yo, those rooms was crazy. Those rooms was crazy. I definitely recommend. And it was huge. Like, there was a part in the penitentiary where, like, you could sit in the middle. Not sit in the middle, but, like, stand in the middle. And, like, it had, like, all these, like, wings. And when you stand in that middle, the way it was done, like, in an architect type of vibe, it was built in a way where if you stood in the middle, you were able to see through each corridor all at the same time just by shifting your body. And like you can still do that to this day. And I thought, like, architect wise, like I thought that was dope. I was like, oh, I was listening to the audio doing it at the same time. And I was like, oh shit, like this shit is crazy. So I was just like, yo, I could see how a security guard, like, like trying to figure shit out. And like it was interesting, like the reason why they had like 9 different like wings, and each wing was different because you had to like separate people. They had a children's wing that actually were children in that prison. They had a woman's wing, a wing for like people that were like sick. I forgot what the other wings were, but there was reasons why there were different wings. So like what's crazy that I didn't know, and I didn't find out till like the middle of the museum. They were like, yeah, Al Capone had a cell there. And when you look at these cells, this shit is crazy. It's like some crazy rotten ass bed. Like just a crazy room. Just a crazy, crazy, crazy room. And Al Capone had a room there. And when you see his room, yo, when I'm telling you that shit look luxurious, that shit look like what a motel room would look like now. Like I was just like, oh wow. And it was interesting, like his stories and shit. They were saying like that he would go to prison to escape the gang wars. Right? Let me get please. But yeah, supposedly Al Capone went to prison to escape the gang wars. Like, that shit was crazy. That shit was crazy. I was just like, wow, okay, so you don't want to die. So you kind of go to, like, this jail cell a little bit. So it was just, like, a little interesting. I was like, oh, shit. But definitely, I recommend people go in there. It was a dope museum. Dope museum. Really cool. Oh, shit. Shout out to Penny. Shout out to my cousin Jessica. I was scared as hell. I was mad scared. I just kept thinking to myself, I'm like, yo, I'm going to bring freaking Billy cellmate 1909. Like, he's going to attach to me. Like, I was like, yo, I don't want to touch anything. Like, nothing at all. I'm crying. You're such a hater, Penny. Listen, this is why Yankee fans have high cholesterol. I don't know, like, yo, you guys are always upset, mad. Like, I'm over here, I'm wearing a Mets hat, and I didn't even say anything about the Yankees. But, yo, that is the crazy thing. Yankee fans, and I've said it on my show before, Yankee fans are hella aggressive for no reason. Like, Mets fans, we're like the peacemakers, Like, we're the Metropolitan of New York. That's what the Mets stands for. It's, when you look at, like, the sign of the Mets, it's like bridges, and it brings the boroughs together. Yankees, I guess it's a Yankee. I don't know. I'm not really sure what that is. But you guys got to stop being so mad at us. Like, yo, we come in peace. We're so chill. Yankee peoples are like, yo, fuck you guys. Like, it's just like, yo, leave us alone. We didn't do anything to y'all. Dead ass. Leave City Field alone. You do love to talk shit. You probably have a Yankees hat on right now. Your emoji, you probably have a Yankees hat, that emoji. Like, yo, okay. All right. But let's keep it going. I won some money in Atlantic City. Went to the state penitentiary. Oh, you know what I did? Yo, shout out to Penny and Steph. Yo, shout out to Manja Laganja. Check him out on Instagram, Manja Laganja. Yo, I had a three, what would you call that? A 3-course high meal, like marijuana 420 meal. Yo, that shit was dope. He made an appetizer. It was like a watermelon, feta, and mint. Yo, beautiful. Beautiful. Like that shit was delicious. And yo, when I'm telling you, and like it was infused with weed, but you couldn't really like taste it. But you kind of could taste like something. Like it wasn't like just like it was food, but like I don't know how to explain it. Cause I remember, yo, shout out to Nicole. She's not in the check-in, but she was sitting next to me, right? And shout out to Manja Laganja because yo, he'll come to your house, he'll cook, like he'll give you like different menus to choose from, and like depending on what you need, that will be your rate. But beautiful, amazing experience, delicious food, cozy, cleaned up, like it was just like amazing, very professional. But when I was eating that appetizer, I remember looking at Nicole like, yo, I like feel something. Like I felt like my tongue got heavy, but I was like, well, whatever. It's my birthday. Like it's an infused meal. I don't give a fuck. I'm in my house. So I was just like, whatever. And like we kept eating and eating, and I felt myself because I was like slumped. Not like slumped, but like I felt like lazy, cozy. I was high. I was lifted. The next day was my flight to Puerto Rico. I think that's why I didn't have anxiety about it, because I was just like too high to even react. Like I was just like, oh, my flight's tomorrow. Might be canceled. Might not. I was just like neutral emotions. But shout out to him. It was a delicious meal. For dinner, he made a poppin' mac and cheese, some mashed potatoes, some greenery, and some steak. And then for dessert, we had a infused, and everything was infused. Every side and meal was infused. And then for dessert, it was a tiramisu dessert, infused. Oh my God. Like I was lifted. But shout out to my friends. It definitely made a great experience. It was so funny. My friend, she was just like, I don't feel nothing. I remember, like, I'm not going to say her name, just like whatever. But my friend, that was there. She's like, I don't feel nothing. Nothing. Fucking 3 hours later, she's like, yo, I feel everything right now. Yo, she's like, I don't feel like doing nothing. I was just like, that's edibles for you. Edibles are interesting. Edibles, like, you don't know how it's gonna affect you. I feel like because everybody's like body, insides of their body is different. But like that shit can hit you fast. That shit can hit you later. Regardless, it's gonna hit you. So it's just like I don't know your anatomy. Yo, I felt it in my eyes. Your eyes was mad low. Your eyes is mad low. Yo, I'm crying, Penny. Shout out to Penny. I love you, Penny. Shout out to Penny. Shout out to Penny and her healthy, beautiful relationship. Shout out to y'all. Shout out to y'all. All right, we're going to transition real quick. Do you think it's beginner's luck real or a myth? That shit is real for me. Because I straight up made that table hot. I walked away though, I think when you feel a vibe, you just go with that vibe. Like shit is just gonna happen. I don't think you should gamble to make money. I think you should just gamble with the intention of like not caring if you lose it, Like, and then it won't hurt you that much because it's like you were already planning to spend this money, So I guess that's how you learn. I feel like the more positive intention you put into playing the game, the more you could have fun. Like I never saw someone, I don't know, like every time I see movies or someone hitting big and not have to be cheating, I felt like it was always like a random hit because they felt so good about life or whatever they were doing that they fucking won the whole jackpot, And like, I don't know, I feel like that has a lot to do with it. Like you don't really see people win something because they were so stressed out about what they were doing. Maybe if there's cheating and being strategic, however, like, that's what I'm saying. If you're going with the intention, like, I got to make this back, I don't really see the odds being in your favor in that scenario. That's where I'm like, yo, you got to get a J-O-B. Like, you got to get the fuck out of here now. Right now. Sally, get him off the table. No more chips. No more slots. Go home. All right. All right. Let's transition. So, what is. Does money. Do you feel like. Okay, let me go back. Do you feel like cities have personalities? This one is like hard. I feel like cities could have personalities, but like it's more of like maybe counties in my mind aspect. Like that's how I think of it. Because I think of New York as the state, right? People say, "Oh, I'm from New York." Da, 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 da. Yeah, you're from the boroughs of New York, and that's why you have like, you have an accent, whatever. And same thing with Jersey. Like you are in North Jersey, because I feel like a accent period. I feel like an accent that's from North Jersey is different from an accent from somebody from Central Jersey. That sounds a little bit, they not like country, but they just sound a little bit more southern. And the same thing with Philly. I think each area does make you a little bit like different. One thing I could say though, that Philly is a little bit scary. Yo, the homeless situation in Philly definitely gotta be studied right now. Like, I saw a statistic. Now, I've never been to Skid Row in California, but I feel like even saying that word, Skid Row, people have heard of it because of poverty and, like, just being a place you don't want to be at. Poverty and, like, addictions, because it's both. It goes, it's just a place you don't want to be. And I feel like there were certain areas in Philadelphia where, like, it wasn't like it was harmful. Like I was definitely like, ooh, I gotta keep my, like, I gotta be more alert. But I will say, like, I took it's called the SEPTA. Like in New York, we have like subway systems. Um, Jersey, we have the PATH or whatever. But in Philly, they have something called the SEPTA, and it's like they're like public transportation. And let me tell you something, those freaking train stations, like, I saw a lady get a ticket with me, right? Within 2 minutes, she was bent over. It was like, and they call it that fancy lean. I don't know. Like, I never, like, it was so extensive. I was like, yo, like, can you be bent over here so you don't fall into the track? Like, that shit was crazy. That shit was crazy. I don't know. It was very, just a different type of, like, it was just like intense poverty. And like I said, like, I don't know if it has to do with that, like, AC area. Like, I do feel like it should be a little bit better. Like Atlantic City, especially, like, there's so much money going into like gambling. You would think that they would put it more into the city, let it be a little bit more recreational, just make it a little bit better. I don't know. It just like, I feel like, I don't know. Like I said, I don't want to go deep into it, but I definitely, like I said, like, going to Philly right now, like, it's, you'll see it in certain, like, areas. It's very interesting, very interesting. But they definitely, I feel like they definitely top New York. New York, I feel like New York poverty is a little bit more like they're more hustle minded. Like, I don't know how to explain it. Like, I don't want to go into like a bad, like, avenue conversating about this, but I feel like our level of poverty, we still have a lot of resources where, like, people are in poverty, but, like, I don't know, maybe they're a little bit more, they have more resources even though they don't really have anything. I feel like what I saw in Philly was poverty to the extreme. Like, I just never seen it in that sense. I was just like, ooh, like, this can't be. Why is this like this? Like, why is this like this? I don't know. It was just something like that. I feel like should be getting better, and I hope gets better. That was the only thing I didn't like about traveling in, like, Philadelphia. Like, seeing that wasn't cool. That wasn't cool. All right. So, other things, AC, Philadelphia. Found out Puerto Rico's right next to Venezuela. Shit was crazy. Shit was mad crazy. And what's crazy is like, I remember when my flight got canceled. I don't know if it was like the infused meals that was getting me optimistic. Cause like the lady, those customer service people be mad like convincing. She's like, yeah, I could put you in this flight. You're gonna be laid over for like 8-9 hours in some city. And I was like, and I was gonna go for it. She's like, I'll give you a $200 voucher. And I was like, but what if I got canceled? I don't want to be canceled in Kentucky. Like, yo, like anything can happen. Like that shit's scary as hell. I was like, you know what? Give me that $200 voucher and my money back. Like, yo, just like I'm not going on a plane. Like I'm not going on a plane. It was just not meant to be to go to Puerto Rico. It was just not meant to be. It's all right. I'll be there soon. All right. If food could talk, which dish would roast you? Oof. If food could talk, what dish will roast me? I feel like the coffee that I just made this morning would fucking roast me. All right. I just told this story earlier, but I got to talk about it. Shout out to Steph for gifting me, you know, this is where I feel like I love being Latina because I feel like this is a machinery that is used. I'm not sure where what's the word I'm looking for? Where the lifeline, like where this was created. However, I know this is like something that is in a lot of Latino households. You could call it la cafetera, la greca, la mocha. There's just different things that you could call it. Espresso maker, whatever. So she gifted me a greca, a cute one. It's all green. You know, I did everything right. I went to the supermarket yesterday. I bought the Cafe Bustelo, the fine. I put that shit in a container because I was like, oh, I can't just open this shit and leave it out. So I made that shit cute. And like, I was ready to make my coffee. And like, you know, that shit was boiling for like 30 minutes. I hit up Steph. She's like, yeah, it takes only 13 minutes. I was like, yo, I don't know what I'm not doing wrong. I'm doing wrong. I'm doing right. This shit has been on for 30 minutes. And yo, what's crazy is just like I was looking at TikToks, right? Because I was trying to figure out everything and anything to get this right. So I was looking at videos of like TikTok and Googling like Greca, like instructions, videos, whatever. All of a sudden, yo, my algorithm goes to like exploding Greca's TikTok. Like, yo, video after video, Greca's exploding in a kitchen. Yo, I got mad scared. I turned that shit off. I was just like, oh my God. I'm not dying. I made that instant coffee so fast. Yo, I'm going to try again tomorrow though. I'm going to try again tomorrow. But yo, that's crazy. That shit's just, I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. Did I not like put the pieces right? Like, ugh. Let me know. Are you guys good making coffee a la greca? You ever made coffee with la greca, cafetera, or mocha? Let me know. All right, let's transition though. So we talked about AC. We talked about Philly. I ain't gonna lie though. One thing when I touched base on it, like eating an infused meal, when I was sitting there with my friends, that shit makes you think to yourself a little bit. Because when I was going back to like that part where I looked at Nicole, like my friend, I was like, yo, like, you feel that? I remember just staring at my friends. I was like, yo, was this a smart idea? I was like, I don't know if this was a smart idea. I have no idea. And I was just like, and in my head, I'm like, yo, I think you're just high. Like, and I'm like, no, you're good. You're good. I had to like give myself a pep talk. Like, I was just like, yo, I'm good. And I was good. I ended up being good. But, yeah, that shit was interesting, yo. That shit had me like, you know, asking myself, like, was I good? Because like, it's different when you're taking an edible, you know, like you're taking a gummy or whatever, like the expectation is for you to like, you know, I don't know, explore, whatever the hell you're going to do. But we're sitting here eating 3 courses of this shit. Like, I gotta sit here in this table. I love my friends, but I was like, yo, each bite, I'm getting higher. So I was like, it was interesting. It was definitely interesting. Let me know, would y'all do a high dining experience for your birthday? Would y'all do it? All right. I guess should I ask myself, did I secretly enjoy not going anywhere I planned? No, I wanted to go to Puerto Rico. Yo, absolutely not. I wanted to be at the beach. I wanted to come back with a tan. But you know what? Again, everything happens for a reason. I'm looking at this palm tree right now. I'm like, yo, like envious and shit. There's a palm tree on the other side of the room. I don't know if we could flip the camera to it, but I'm crying. That's a piece of the palm tree. I'm crying. I'm crying. All right. I guess, is money more exciting when it's unexpected? Yeah. Oh, yeah. Because it's not like, yo, I get excited when I find $1 in my old coat pocket when I'm putting my winter clothes back. Like, who gets so happy? And I'm like, yo, y'all know what I'm talking about. When you find like $5 in your jeans that you didn't think were there. I think the most money I found was $50. And it was like in my closet, you know? So I feel like when money is unexpected, hell yeah, you're mad happy. Unless you're in Colombia and you find a bag of money,
That's suspicious.
I don't think I would take it. I don't think I would take it. And I've had this conversation before. Like, if you find a bag of money in Colombia, like you just found that shit in your backyard. I don't know who I would talk to, but I wouldn't take it. Cause I don't want no problems. No problems. They said that Pablo Escobar hid mad money in the mountains in Colombia. And there's been people that have been finding it randomly. I think if I found the money, as much as I want to take it, I feel like, yo, Pablo Escobar got like some invisible camera. And they will find me. They will find my family. Like, they will cut off my show. Like, no. No. But I don't think I would, like, you know. I'm trying to think, like, what's the most money I found? I remember being in the mall one time. I found $175 on the floor. Just, like, on the floor. I, like, was walking towards it, too. Like, it was so odd. Happened a couple years ago. Mad daylight. And it was, like, those days in the mall. It was, like, I was at work during my break. Where, like, people weren't walking around. So I was walking around. And I'm, like, walking towards it. And I'm, like, yo, what the fuck? I was, like, is this, like, play money? I was, like, there's no way there's mad cash on the floor. It was, like, spread out. And like I walked towards it and I was like, oh shit, that's money. I was like, that's dope. That's dope. My friend was like, damn, you're not gonna tell security? I'm like, no, that shit found me. That shit found me. Okay? That's different. I'm not in Colombia. Like Colombia though, I don't know what I would do, but I don't think I will take it. What would y'all do? Would y'all take the money? Or y'all would not take the money? Let me know. Let me know. All right. Let's see. What else? What else can we talk about here? Sorry, guys. It feels weird doing my show on a Wednesday. I'm so used to doing it on a Thursday. I guess other things to talk about too. I talked to you about the cell. I talked to you about foods in like Philadelphia. I didn't get to see Rocky's thing. I feel like no matter what, I don't know if I could like. It's just interesting for me because it's like the city's iconic figure is a fictional character. I don't think Rocky's real. No, I don't think he's real. I don't think it's. No, quote me if I'm wrong. I don't think it's a real story. I think it's based off a real story. But like the statue, Rocky, I think of Sylvester Stallone. I don't even think Sylvester Stallone is from Philadelphia. Is he? Sylvester Stallone. Birthplace. He's from New York. Like, yo, that's just like the statue of Rocky, who is a actor is from New York. Like, that's why I'm just like, I don't know. It's sitting in front of a museum. I think it's the Museum of Philadelphia of Art. And yeah, that's the only thing I couldn't see. I just feel like I don't agree with that. That's just like that's a fictional character. Like, that's just, I get it. You know, like, it is like, doing the whole run and shit. But I'm like, yo, who approved this? Like, let's just like add this. Let's just give the city more pizzazz. I'm gonna put this fictional character and it's gonna represent this brotherly love of a city. It's very interesting. I guess asking myself this, because I feel like, me being on this solo episode, do I feel like, am I better at planning or adapting? I feel like I'm good at both. I'm good at planning because I feel like I like to give myself structure to things. So I'm like, all right, like, instead of stressing about this later in the moment, if I could like figure this out now, so all I have to do is follow an itinerary later, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. I like itineraries. I like not having to stress and guess where to eat, where to go, what the vibe could be. Now, I feel like adapting, I'm okay with that too. Like, sometimes shit is not going to go your way, but I feel like it's all about like your attitude towards things. Like, if you're positive, and I feel like for me, don't get me wrong, I say some wild shit, but like, I'm a positive person. I'm like, oh, well, what am I going to do? Like, this is the inevitable right now. So it's just like, and I feel like if your attitude is positive, then you make it fun. You do shit that's fun. And that's just dope. It's dope. It's dope. I feel like I'm good at both. I'm good with adapting and I'm good with planning. I used to be shitty at planning. I used to not be a planner. I used to just like go with the vibes. I'm like, oh, we wake up and this is what we figured out. But like, I had to learn lessons about that. Like, there's times I would try to plan things and like things will be closed. And like, it's those like lessons that I feel like you learn. It's just like, oh man, I like, you're not the only person living in this world. So like planning, I feel like in a way is like being respectful towards other environments that you're going to put yourself in, if that makes sense. Like, just, you don't want to have so much control of your day, but if you could have some structure to your day to go in your favor and what you want, why the hell not would I plan my day? That's how I started looking at shit. I'm like, you know what? This is just like setting me up for success. So like, why wouldn't I do this? But whatever, some shit, that shit's not gonna go your way. So I feel like as long as you look at it in a positive way and be open-minded to what you can't do no more, then your possibilities are endless. When my shit got canceled to Puerto Rico, I'm like, all right, well, we got a shitload of money back. What else could we do? Because I'm not getting on an airplane. You just find shit to do. You keep it popping. You keep it positive. You keep it moving. But like, that's my mantra for like 2026. Because, yo, the shit that's happening in the world right now, it's just like a time. It's an interesting time. So I feel like my mantra for 2026 for sure is just reset, refocus, but stay chill. Yeah. That's the vibe. Reset, refocus, but stay chill. Because I feel like you could be focused, but I feel like it's okay to be refocused. Like, maybe you just got to look at it again a second day. Don't just make that decision all at once. I feel like this is going to be the year that I feel like we just have to like take it a little easy. It's giving recession vibes right now. I don't know what this Super Bowl is going to look like. I know I'm excited because Benito's going to play. Shout out to Bad Bunny. I love Bad Bunny. Love Bad Bunny. But like, with this recession and shit, I don't know what this is going to look like. Yeah, I was in Philly when the Eagles lost. That was interesting. They definitely represent out there. I was out there and everybody had like mad Philly merch everywhere. And it was funny though, because like as I was driving home, I told myself, I'm like, yo, they're going to lose because I'm leaving. Mina Mendoza's leaving Philadelphia, so they're going to lose. I was giving them positive juju, and I don't know, they just like lost. It was a very close game. I think also the Pittsburgh lost on Monday too. I think like Pennsylvania is just completely out of the map. But like I don't know who. I think it's like the Bills, and I forgot who else that is still gonna be playing. But We're gonna see what this Super Bowl gonna look like. Is it gonna give recession vibes? I'm there to see Bad Bunny. That's it. I'm there to see Bad Bunny. I think everybody is what I think this is gonna be the most viewed halftime show because of Bad Bunny. Quote me on this. I believe that this will be 100% true. That's got to be a crazy ass show. He had one of the most crazy ass concerts. It's still going on right now. He was just in Chile. Just crazy. Just crazy. I don't know. I don't know. Shit is crazy. But anyways, I don't want to give too much away because I feel like I am going to go live tomorrow. So I guess just a couple things to mention before I forget, because I do like to hype themes up. Hidden Gems Part 3 is going to be happening. Shout out to Professor Knox. He reached out to me. I am going to be hosting that event. This is going to be our third one. It's actually going to be in Bravery Studios. We don't have the date officially yet, but just know that it's concrete. It's in the works. It's going to be happening very soon. So definitely, be on the lookout for little, just pop-ups on that. Some other things. Tomorrow we got a special guest, Aji. Aji is an amazing, amazing just person, returning guest onto my show. I had Aji here maybe like 3 years ago when which he still is part of Tomorrow Never Promise, is a band from Brooklyn. And when they came on my show, dope. All of them had beautiful different personalities coming together. And but Aji's gonna come solo. He's gonna talk about his journey with American Idol. He actually was, I believe, top 15 finalist. So he's gonna talk about performing in front of, like, he performed in front of Katy Perry, Lionel Richie, like collabing with such a big brand like that. Like, that's definitely gonna be something that to look forward to. So definitely be on the lookout for that. Tomorrow I'm gonna be going live on regular time, 7 p.m. So I'm going to be promoting that show tonight. I'm also going to be posting more content. I know I've been behind. December whooped my ass. Besides, like, the super flu that, like, caused like biological warfare with everybody. But, like, the month was just crazy. Just crazy. Like, super crazy. But yes, Hidden Gems. There's also going to be a Galentine's event in Bravery Studios. So definitely be on the lookout for that. There's tickets being sold right now. So definitely check out Bravery Studios Instagram to take a look at that event. And yeah, that's all I got for y'all right now. Because again, I'm gonna go live again tomorrow. So yeah, that's it. It's your girl, Mina Mendoza, little girl, big personality, queen of spice. We out of here. Ew.